All right, y'all, man. It's your boy Humble 2 times for me. Back in that video, man, for me. Follow the Instagram at Humble 2 times. Now, look, y'all spent this time talking about the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Now, look, for today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Most High in general for everything. I also want to give a huge shout out to myself for wanting to receive this good information and give out this good information as well. I'm also giving a huge shout out to everyone and to y'all. Y'all literally take energy out of y'all's day to come rock me, show love, support. You feel me? I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all so much. More than love always. I'm also giving a huge shout out to Divine Insight / Rashad Jamal. Y'all can follow him on, y'all can look up his stuff, his YouTube, Divine Insight, other YouTube, Rashad Jamal's Instagram. Y'all can look that up. Shout out him, definitely helped me and inspired me to make this video. Once again, giving a huge shout out to everyone and to y'all. Y'all literally take energy out y'all's day to come rock me, show love, support, you feel me? I'm also sending good positive energy to everyone always. Now let's go ahead and get ready to the video. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Now let's go ahead and get ready to the video. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Also, disclaimer, if you don't want to hear about the truth, you don't want to hear more about the truth, if you feel like you're not ready to hear about the truth, if you feel like you're not ready to hear more about the truth, then you may want to go ahead and click off this video now, respectfully, all due respect. Let's go ahead and get ready to the video. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Also, another thing is too, y'all, if you want to do a one-on-one call with me, just DM me on Instagram, you feel me, and I will get back to you. Now look, let's go ahead and get ready to the video. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. But what do I mean by this, y'all? Excuse me. What I want y'all to understand and understand is that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. What do I mean by that? For an example, right? A lot of people, a lot of parents who play sports, a lot of times their children end up playing sports. That's an example of the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Another example is a lot of parents that are really rich, their kids end up very rich. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. A lot of parents who grow up, and a lot of people who grow up in Hollywood, a lot of their children grow up in Hollywood. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So basically, what I mean is that a lot of times things are passed down to us, and because of genetics, etc., we'll act or do certain things similar to people in our family or people that we are connected to. You see what I'm saying? For an example, right? You may not look like your mother or your father really, but you might look like your great-great-great-great-grandma. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So basically, that whole saying of the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree is that the apple and the tree is connected. You see what I'm saying? Etc. So what I want y'all to understand and overstand is that, like for another example, if two parents both do drugs, that kid might end up doing drugs. And it may not necessarily be because that kid wants to do drugs. It may be because of its environment. Well, my mom and my dad do it, so it must be okay if I do it. Or everybody else in the house doing it, so why can't I do it? A lot of times we're doing things just to do things. A lot of times you aren't even actually doing things because they actually want to do things. A lot of times we're doing things to impress other people, to impress social media, to impress a woman, to impress a man, to impress family, etc. But a lot of times we're actually doing it because we genuinely want to do it. You see what I'm saying? For an example, social media, technology could fully shut down right now. I'm still going to meditate. I'm still going to work out, etc. Why? Because these are things that I actually naturally love to do, etc. You see what I'm saying? So what I want y'all to understand, respectfully, out of respect. So I want y'all to understand and understand that the apple does not fall too far from the tree. So a lot of times, if a lot of people in a certain family, if they're very known for robbing, then when they have kids, their kids might grow up to be robbers because that's the environment they come from. What I'm saying, another thing that I'm saying is that your environment, bro, your environment is so important. Also, disclaimer, I'm not saying if you come from a family and a lot of the people in your family do drugs, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do drugs. There's duality in everything. Life is balanced naturally. So, and we all have free will. So you don't have to do what other people are doing around you. Just a lot of times it's hard for a lot of us not to do what other people are doing around us because we're always constantly around them. For an example, if you're trying to stop an addiction or if you're trying to stop doing something, you really may not want to be around people that are doing the things that you're trying to stop doing. If you're trying to stop drinking soda, you might not want to be around people who drink soda because now you may start to think and have that temptation to want to drink a soda. You don't want to do drugs anymore, but you're still hanging out and around that type of energy, around people who want to do drugs. So what are they doing? They're doing drugs. You see what I'm saying? You want to make millions of dollars, but you're not around people who make millions of dollars. Your circle is very important and your circle is very imperative. You see what I'm saying? You want to be vibrating high, but you're around people who vibrate low. This is why a lot of us chosen ones are very alone and very out the way. What I mean by out the way is it aren't really around a lot of people a lot of times. Because a lot of people vibrate low because we have been programmed to think it's okay, and we've been programmed to be comfortable. We've been programmed to be very comfortable with being with vibrating low, with being negative to one another. We think it's okay. We'll go to church, we'll go to the mosque, we'll go to the Jews church, etc. And then right after that, we'll start talking trash about one another. But we was just being positive in the church. We was just being positive in the mosque. We was just being positive in the Jew church, etc. We was just being y'all was just being positive. We was just being positive. You see what I'm saying, bro? So what I want y'all to understand and understand as well is that when it comes to this whole, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, a lot of times people are redoing things that their parents did, and then their parents did, and their great parents did. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of time, for an example, eating meat. A lot of us eat meat because the people around us eat meat. You don't want to seem different. You don't want to seem like the oddball. Bro, I've been the oddball my whole life. What I want y'all to understand and understand is that if you are an oddball, bro, I recommend you to embrace it in good, positive ways. Everybody is different. Everybody is different in their own beautiful way, bro. If you're trying to fit in and you know deep inside your soul and in your spirit, you know this isn't for you, bro, just go ahead and, I recommend you to just go ahead and just stop doing that, bro, because deep inside, you know that's not for you. You see what I'm saying? You might be wasting your energy and your time, even though time isn't even real, because you're doing something that you know that isn't even for you, for real. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't want to embrace things. What I mean by embrace things is a lot of times we don't want to embrace things in a positive way, in a positive aspect. We always trying to look at the negative. We always trying to find something negative to complain about and to get upset about. And I understand that. I've done that multiple times. But what I want y'all to understand and understand is that when it comes to the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, a lot of times we're doing things because we're seeing the individuals around us do it. So we think it's okay because we see people around us do it. What I want you to understand and understand is that just because your parents, or maybe not your parents, maybe because your siblings or whoever's around you, or maybe just because the people in your environment are doing certain things, that don't mean that you got to do it, bro. Your whole friend group could be basketball players. If you don't want to play basketball, you don't have to try to turn into this D1 athlete basketball player because all your other friends are basketball players. If y'all are really friends, y'all are gonna whatchamacallit. Y'all are still gonna be friends regardless, bro. That's the honest truth, bro. Literally the honest truth. Rather if you play basketball or not. You see what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all some examples. You see what I'm saying? Respectfully, all due respect. So what I want y'all to understand and understand as well, right, is that when it comes to the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree is, bro, a lot of times we're doing things because our environment, bro. Our environment. And I know sometimes it can be very hard to not do some things when you're constantly around that. And I know sometimes it can be hard to move from your environment, especially if you don't have a certain amount of money or you feel like you're not ready to move to a different place or to your own house, etc., apartment, etc. I understand that. But, you know, it's just very important. When you're in situations like that, it's very important to maybe know how to be alone and know how to really have control of yourself. What I mean by have control of yourself is that we all naturally have control of ourselves, but we can always be a better version of ourselves. So what I mean by we can always be a better version of ourselves is that we can always do better with ourselves. I'm not saying don't be grateful of the progress, how far you've came. I'm not saying that. I recommend all of us to be grateful with ourselves and with life in general. But there's always something that we can do to get better with our life in good, positive ways. So, you know, what I want y'all to understand and understand is that if you're in an environment right now that you don't want to be in, bro, I recommend you to just really not give up in what you're trying to do, etc. And I recommend you to try to just stay positive and maybe remember why you're trying to do the things that you're doing. Like maybe remember why you're trying to get better at soccer, or maybe remember why you're trying to be a golfer, or whatever it may be that you want to be or that you want to pursue, etc. You see what I'm saying? Respectfully, all due respect. Also, I'm gonna say this to y'all. Like I said earlier in the video, if y'all want to do a one-on-one call, just DM my Instagram at HumbleLuke2times. I'm saying more time. Just DM my Instagram at HumbleLuke2times, and just send me a text, and I'll send you over the different prices. So if you want to do an hour call, this is the price. If you want to do a 15-minute call, this is etc. You see what I'm saying? And once you pick whatever price you want to go with, just send me this. I'll send you my Cash App. Just send me a screenshot of you sending over the money, and then once you do that, boom, we'll get ready and hop on the IG call, Instagram call, get everything situated. I'll set the timer on there as well. And I help with physical health, you know, if you want to get in good shape or in better shape, because we're all in shape, but we can always get in better shape, including myself. Help with mental health, physical health, spirituality. You want to talk about religion, etc. But yeah, though, man. I hope you have some Mel's to today's video. I catch up for Mel's on the next one, man. Peace.